As you could see in the last previous years, one or two places, this question have came as a theories of emulsification. So today, it's a matter of 20 minutes. We'll finish it off the topic here. Yes, if you could recall back the chapter called coarse dispersions, I said on the time itself, the chapter has been divided into two parts. One is the suspensions and emulsions. So the suspensions part already you had seen you have been written for the first sessional examination. And the second part, that is called emulsions, which will be there for the second sessional internal examination. And in this chapter, everything we have covered, like starting from emulsion definition, classification of emulsifying agents, except theories of emulsification, which are going to see today, formulation of emulsions or preparation methods like trigram method, vetigram method, or whatever it is. Then identification test like the dilution test, conductive test, or dye test, whatever it was there. Then physical instabilities like flocculation, creaming, coalescence, all this also we have seen. Then also we have seen the factors by which this can be improved by changing the particle size and the particle size distribution, viscosity, or whatever also we have seen. Then preservation of emulsions we have seen. As I said before, emulsions should be preserved from two major problems. One is microbial contamination. As we've seen, unlike other formulations like tablets, capsules, or ointments, in suspensions, emulsions, the water content is more. When there is a water content, there is a more chances of contamination. So it should be preserved from microorganisms by adding some preservatives or antimicrobial agents. And also, I have seen this also should be prevented from oxidation. So this is specially discussed in emulsions because we see in rancidity. So as emulsions involves the use of oils, oil as an oil globules, there is more chances of this oil get oxidified, and this process should be prevented by adding some antioxidants. So that also I have seen. Then phase equilibria, actually this topic is it's not there in the textbook also, just a graph I have been added here, that also I have seen. Then the rheological properties emulsions also I have seen in the class. So only the kept pending part, which is very important also and has been asked many times, is the theories of emulsification. So let us move on to finish this. So just to recall you back what was seen in this chapter, just in the glimpses, because all of a sudden if you come to the theories of emulsification, you may feel that it's completely from some other topic which is not have been related to any of the topics mentioned before. So we have seen just in a few slides, we have seen like this in the emulsions, like advantages, disadvantages, and the classification basically is of two types: oil and water, and water and oil. Then we have seen like based upon the size, these are like fine emulsions, micro emulsions, and also multiple emulsions. Then we have seen the classification of emulsion. This we know very well based upon HLV value. There is nothing but bank of rules. The emulsifications has been done, like lipophilic surfactants, hydrophilic surfactants, are detergents, the foaming agents, all these things based upon this classification. So let us come back to the theories of emulsification. Okay. So before going to theories, we should understand what is the definition of emulsification, what it says, what is the meaning of emulsification. So emulsification simply nothing but it is the process of converting a two immiscible liquids into a emulsion. So you see here, this is oil, this is a water, this is called emulsifier. Emulsifier is nothing but surfactant only. Since it's working as converting the two immiscible phases into an emulsion, we are calling as emulsifier. So we have seen a physical forms of one of various applications of surfactants which you study in the surface and interfacial phenomenon. One of the application of surfactants is emulsifying agents because they form emulsions, and the entire process is called as emulsification. This process of formation of emulsion from between two immiscible layers is called as emulsification process. And now what is a theory? Theory means the concept. So what is the various concept which explains the formation of emulsions is called as theories of emulsification. First, basically, so what is the concept of this emulsion? Why this emulsification process means? So when you add two immiscible liquids, what is the meaning of two miscible liquids? They are not going to miscible at any proportion. So liquids are of three types. One is miscible, one is partially miscible, one is immiscible. So immiscible liquids are those, they never going to mix whatever the proportion it is. So the reason is because there exists between these two phases some kind of tension is called as interfacial tension. To correlate back the surface and interfacial phenomenon chapter where we have studied this, the tension which exists on the surface is called as surface tension. The tension which exists between the two liquids are called as interfacial tension. So as we said, these surface tensions and interfacial tensions are the best minimized by use of surfactants in the last chapter itself, that is surface and interfacial phenomenon. Also, they have emphasized this, the interfacial tension can be minimized by using the application of surfactants. So what happens is, now we are adding surfactant to this kind of immiscible liquids. So what happens is, these surfactants will reduce the interfacial tension between these two immiscible liquids, but remember, they're never going to be miscible. Just that it is reducing the interfacial tension between these two leads to the formation of the oil will be like this. Now, if you see, before the oil surface area is more, complete surface area. Now, oil surface area is very less. Nothing but is a reduction of interfacial tension. Now, it is reduced interfacial tension so that before whatever the oil present at the top layer in the previous diagram, these oil globules will come into the bulk of the solution and will form a globule like this. So these red color dots are the surfactants. This red color dots present is the surfactants. These red color dots are nothing but the surfactants, and the blue color thing is called the water, the aqueous phase, and the yellow color is the oil. So this is how these surfactants are the emulsifying agents which are adding at these surfaces between the two surfaces will reduce the interfacial tension, thereby helps in formation of an emulsion. So let us see the three principles of emulsion formation in the respective slides. So just see the introduction. What generally the science says is, there is no universal theory. That means there is no single theory which says that emulsion will be formed only by this mechanism, because emulsions can be prepared using various different types of emulsifying agents. So until now you have seen only surfactants, but surfactants only is not used to prepare emulsions. I'll give you an example. If you could recall back in the same charter, we have discussed the topic called formulation of emulsions, their wet gum method and dry gum method. In that preparation of wet gum method, diagram method, the emulsions which is prepared during using these methods, we never used a term called surfactant. What we have used a term called a gum, oil, gum, water, otherwise water, gum, oil. So we are using a gum called like Acacia tragacanth. Basically, they are not surfactants; they are basically hydrophilic surfactants. So any questions you can ask at the end of the slide. Please don't do any kind of things here. Even apart from surfactants, there are many other ways you can able to prepare an emulsion. So in that, the first thing is using a surfactants. If you prepare, that is called as monomolecular absorption method. If you are using some kind of gums like Acacia tragacanth, if you are preparing that kind of emulsions are called as that kind of preparations are called multimolecular emulsions or multimolecular absorption principle. And if you are using some solids to prepare that, those are called as solid particle absorption. So you could see here in the first one, which is related to this. Why it is called monomolecular? Because the surfactant molecules, when you are preparing an emulsion, they will form a single layer, monomolecular, single layer like this. And in case of Acacia tragacanth gum, if you use, this polymer will form a chain like this, multi-layers. So there are many polymers here, which prevents or will reduce the interfacial tension between the water and the oil. And they form multi-layers. So that's why it's called as multi-layer absorption. And in case of solid particle absorption, where only solids like V gum or bentonite, the solids is reducing the interfacial tension. But this kind of emulsions are very rare. It is only for the hypothetical purpose. These solids will form a plug or channel like this between the two oil globules. So this is an oil globule. This is one oil globule. This is another oil globule. Like this, these are the two oil globules. If it is forming a single layer by the surfactant, this is called as monomolecular absorption. If it is forming a multi-layer, it is called as multi-molecular absorption. And if the solids are forming and making an emulsion or making a bridge like this, this is called as solid particle absorption. So let us see one by one in detail. So these are also called as surface active agents or monomolecular absorption, because surface active agents are nothing but the surfactants. These surfactants will form an emulsion by making hydrophilic heads. If you could recall back once again the basics of surfactants, this is called as hydrophilic head and this is called as lipophilic tail. hydrophilic and lipophilic, since that's why it has been faced, all the heads has been faced towards the outside environment, that is called the water, right? So this is the water, this entire environment is water. That's why the hydrophilic heads has been faced outside and the lipophilic tails has been faced inside the oil. That is why it is forming the emulsion. You could see the same image which we discussed before, correlating this. So the best examples of the surface active agents are the soaps, pans and twins, which we know, which we have studied before also. So the write-up given in the textbook is the subdivision of the one or more phases. So what is the subdivision? This oil is a subdivision. It is making into small droplets. In case of water and oil emulsion, what will happen is, instead of oil, you could see water as a droplets and outside the oil will be there. So the subdivision of any of the phase into smaller droplets, resulting into larger increase in the surface area. Hence, interfacial free energy or interfacial tension of the system is going to be reduced. The system is thus thermodynamically unstable before adding the surfactants, which means the resulting spherical globules tend to coalescence, causing phase separation. So the absorption of surface active agents at the globule interface will lower the interfacial tension, thereby it reduces the interfacial tension between the two layers. See, you lay out this, right? Water, I said before also, if it is a two immiscible layers are there, when you add some surfactants, they will reduce the interfacial tension, they will lower the interfacial tension. Thus leads to the formation of a stable emulsion, which is not going to be subjected for any kind of stability issues. And the surfactants are again three types. One is cationic, anionic, and non-ionic. The same has been given here. So there is a diagram given the textbook. Please don't confuse. It's like something a chemistry diagram. You try to understand. This is an oil globule, right? This is just an oil globule. They are also written here. This is another oil globule. There are two oil globules. And then what is this? Is a surfactant structure. Chemically, they have written here. You could see this is a surfactant: hydrophilic head, lipophilic tail, right? Similarly, hydrophilic head, the lipophilic tail. So if you want, you can write, but if you write like this chemical structure, people, the evaluators will think you have some, some chemistry, you have trans and spinity or twinity structures like that. But please don't confuse anything with this is some kind of chemical. There are two oil globules. They are explaining how the hydrophilic heads is facing outside and lipophilic tails are facing inside. That is the ultimate, principle behind this diagram. So what are the three diagrams, another three diagrams which is given under this topic of single layer or monomolecular absorption? They says that if we use a single type of surfactants like this, like only one type of surfactants, it says it leads to the formation of poor emulsion, that is less stable emulsion. But if you use two types of surfactants, maybe one is like cationic, one is anionic, it will form a good emulsion, but it leads to the formation of loose packing. So loose packing, once again, the problem of poor emulsion. But if you make highly concentrated surfactants, if you are using more concentration of surfactants, they will almost cover the entire globule. So there is no chances of, again, the oil will come back to the original position, like which is seeing here in the second diagram. This kind of emulsions were excellent emulsions, which is having a close packing and also the complex film. As the film, this is the film, surfactants film. This film involves many surfactant molecules. They are writing this are called as complex. They are saying this is as complex. Sorry, I couldn't able to write it here. This is called as complex film. This kind of concentration, if you are using this kind of multiple type of surfactants, like mixture of cationic, anionic, or another anionic emulsifying agents, if you are using as a group with highest concentration, you will get an emulsion of excellent stability, which is having the less instability problems which are discussed, like coalescence, the sedimentation or creaming or whatever the problems which we discussed earlier. So the next comes is the multi-molecular absorption or film formation. In this, you could see these solid molecules like acacia or gelatin, when you add, what happens is they form a solid or the different layers of the solids like this to prevent the coalescence or whatever other stability problems present in the emulsions. So leads to the formation of stable emulsion. This is also an oil globule. This is another oil globule. These acacia are under one solid place. These are the molecules. Try to understand the difference between this and the next, which you are going to discuss. The next one is completely like a solid. They are not going to be visible with the solvent which you are using. These are the molecules of acacia trichogan, individual molecules. They form a multi-molecular layer on the surface of this oil globules, and leads to the formation of emulsions. So usually hydrocolloids, when we are seeing this colloids chapter, we have discussed about these colloids. Hydrocolloids are those which are water loving. Hydro means water, colloids means the colloidal structures which are having water loving nature. Example like acacia, gelatin, and the hydrocolloids also we have seen the application in the preparation of vehicles for the suspending agents, because they maintain good viscosity so that the rate of sedimentation can be reduced. So that is the hydrocolloids which we have seen before. So these hydrocolloids also aids in formation of emulsions by forming a multi-molecular layers. Hence this kind of theory is called as multi-molecular adsorption. So once again, they given the write-up here. Only thing, two things you remember here. This sheath we are calling as protective sheath, and this the sheath having the property of viscoelasticity, because if you could disturb back the emulsion by shaking or some other mechanical means, this sheet once again will come back to the original position like elastic body. The plastic and elastic deformations which you have seen, viscoelastic like gel-like consistency, and hence the rupturing of the sheath which is formed here will not be there, and the problems like coalescence and all will be prevented. So this is the complete part about hydrocolloids. So move on to the last one, that is the solid particle adsorption. As the name indicates, the solid particles like bentonite or V-gum, what they form is they will form a strong, rugged, completely filled, a solid plug, also called as capillary, whatever the names which are given here. They form a plug between the two oil globules which was presented here, leads to the prevention of coalescence or other kind of coagulation problems in the emulsions and formation of a stable emulsion. But remember, out of these three mechanisms, that is monomolecular, multimolecular, and the solid particle absorption, monomolecular is the best way to make it stable emulsions, because surfactants are always proven to be the best emulsifying agents rather than that of the other things which you have seen. And also in future classes, you are going to read more and more about the surfactants as an emulsifying agents rather than this acacia, trichantanol, which olden days when there is no surfactants principles are there, those time when they want to prepare emulsions, like we used to call as extemporaneous preparation. That means on spot they used to prepare and give for the cod liver, and those days they used to use small pieces of acacia and they used to triturate it and they used to give to us. But these days the most widely used surfactant, the most widely used emulsifying agents are the surfactants. So these are the three different kinds of theories of emulsification. So whatever the theory you remember, that is nothing but these theories explaining how these two immiscible layers are going to be going to be leads to the formation of a globule. So what happens at this interface, how it is forming the interface? If it is forming by surfactants, a monomolecular adsorption theory. If it is forming by group of molecules, this is called as multimolecular adsorption theory, like acacia, trachogans. If it is formed by a solid plug between the two oil globules, that is called as solid particle adsorption theory. Hope you understand this, and you could able to read from the textbook the same which was given there.